Oh God, haven't done this in a long time. Good morning, everybody. Well, morning for me. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, which I haven't posted on in a very long time. And when I'm talking a very long time, I mean like, I think almost 2 years. Basically, in a nutshell, in the last 2 years, I have changed jobs, changed locations. I'm now living up in Wiltshire, which is where you might remember that I am from originally. So I'm living here now. I have a new flat that I am living in and still decorating, so it's very plain at the moment. So I'm currently not working, as many people are not, due to the situation going on in the world. So today I thought I'd film this story for you because I thought you might get a laugh out of it. But it's a story about a date I went on about 5 years ago where I almost died. So this occurred about 6 months into me living in Brighton. I was actually living in Hove near the seafront. Now up the road from there is a bar called Modelo Lounge, which is a really nice place. So if you're ever in the area, if you're in Hove, I would suggest going for a cocktail or something to eat at Modelo Lounge because I was always a big fan. The chap in question I had met on Grindr, I believe. Not a hookup or anything, we had chatted and then agreed to go on a date. I don't remember much about him. Now, in fairness, this guy was really nice from what I believe. Not a great first date, but he was a nice guy, so it wasn't a bad date. But for whatever reason, probably because of what's about to happen in this story, he never called me again, or we never spoke again, really, I don't think. We definitely didn't go on another date after this. Anyway, so we agreed to go for dinner together at Modelo Lounge. In fact, I think it was lunch. It was definitely daylight. We go in and you turn to the left and we sat right in the window. I ordered a chicken burger and fries, and we were halfway through our meal. And everything's going really well, and we're flirting and chatting, and it's like, it's nice, it's a nice date. Now, at one point, this guy, I know that during the date he keeps checking his phone and things, like when he's eating, and I hate that, so I'd already kind of decided that he wasn't the guy for me. Then he said to me, like, oh, do you mind if I have a cigarette? And I was just like, no, I guess not, because I'd already checked out. It's not like I would say to someone, no, you can't have a cigarette. But I had checked out on the date a little bit. But anyway, I was like, yeah, that's fine. So he went to the door. Now, he walks to the door of the bar and goes through, so he can't see me and I can't see him. He's just like in the alcove bit, having a cigarette. Now, as he's having his cigarette, I'm just checking my phone, eating my food, just enjoying myself, when I take a bite of this chicken burger and I'm chewing and chewing and I swallow. And I got that sensation, which I think we all get. I have had throat surgery in the past, so this does kind of happen to me quite a bit, but I get that sensation where you can just feel the food is stuck in your throat. Not like in a bad way, but it's just sat there, like you can feel it. And so I'm doing that thing where you're like swallowing, like trying to get it down, right? And it's normal, this has happened before, so at this point I'm totally fine. Anyway, it's not budging, it's just stuck there and it's really uncomfortable and I want to like keep eating, so I'm just like, how do I get rid of it? So I take my glass of water, which I have with me, this is coffee obviously, but I had a I don't know, a pint of lemonade or Coke or something like that, and I take a big sip, which usually, like again, everyone's done this, usually solves the problem. You take a big sip of water and it just flushes it down and it's gone. Prepare yourself for how bizarre this is. So I take the drink, I lean back, glug, swallow. Only it doesn't swallow. It doesn't go down my throat. I feel this bizarre sensation, almost as though someone's turned a tap on at the back of my throat or the back of my nose. And suddenly, a mixture of water, mayonnaise, and ketchup is leaking out of my nose like a faucet. Like literally like 2 streams of this gunge with like ketchup saltiness comes out of my nose and it's running straight down me. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening to me? So I reach for a napkin and I cover my face because I'm so embarrassed. There are other people in the restaurant in front of me. No one's looking from what I remember. But I'm sat there like this, covering my face, just thinking like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? Like almost feeling like ridiculously and embarrassed and, you know, freaked out because I was like, what is happening? Like, is my face imploding? So I'm like this, just thinking, good God, what's going on? What's going on? Now, at this point, I'm like dabbing my face to get this stuff off. And I guess, from what I remember, I think I just went to take a breath and I went, and there's no breath. Like, there's nothing. I'm like, nothing is coming into my mouth. Like, I cannot pull breath in, it was the most bizarre feeling in my life. And I don't think I've experienced that since. And I'm suddenly scared, like instantly scared. I suppose like it was just so abnormal that it terrified me. And I'm sat there in this corner of this restaurant, the window here, the bar here, and people in front of me. And I go to say something, because I don't know what I wanted to say, but I go to say like, oh my God, or something. And I go to speak and nothing comes out of my mouth. And the strangest thing is, in my mind, I know about people choking. I always remember my sister choked on bacon when we were kids, and I always remember that. But I always thought when you choked, you could still speak, or at least make a noise, because you hear in films, people are like, like that. Nothing. I couldn't make a sound. No sound came out of me. It was just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Now, here's the point where, hopefully by making this video, I'm helping other people who won't be as stupid as I was. So, in my complete panic, I make the dumbest decision that I could possibly make in that circumstance. Rather than get up and wave and attract attention, which is what anyone, I think, who's smart would have done, I didn't. In my panic, I stood up with this napkin still covering me because I was covered in sauce, like it was all over my top. So in my panic, I walk very quickly to the bathroom at the back of the restaurant. So I walk past the bar very quickly with this napkin, almost thinking like, I hope people are thinking I'm having a nosebleed, which is so stupid. I'm still, to this day, it's been 6 years, and I'm still angry at myself for how dumb that was. But yeah, I scuttle into the back. And now at the back of Modelo Lounge, there is a door that goes to the loos. And when you go through that door, there's a little wooden staircase, only a short one, that goes down. And then the toilets are kind of downstairs. That's when I realise how stupid I am and why have I just run away from people. Now at this point, I really am like, I'm crying, I can't make a noise, I still can't breathe, and my head is working, and I guess I'm fine currently, like I still have enough oxygen to live, but like my brain is swirling with panic, like what is going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. So now I can't remember exactly what happened here because I guess it was just bizarre and happened very quickly. But in my panic, I remember like thinking, get to the bathroom, which I don't know why I thought get to the bathroom would help. This is what's so stupid about the whole thing. But I scurry down the stairs, and as I scurry, my foot kind of like, I miss a step. You know, when you just miss the edge of the step, and I kind of like, boof. Now, as I boof into the next step, I kind of go, hot, and this lump, and I mean like a lump like this big, it's not even that big, a lump of chicken and bread just flies out of my mouth and lands on the floor in front of me. And I'm just stood there like, I quickly then go into the men's room. Oh, I picked up the meat with the napkin because I was like, I didn't want someone to slip in it. This weird my brain works. I was like, God forbid someone slip. So I pick this food up and I go into the men's room. So I'm in the men's room and thank God there's no one else there. I go to the sink and I look like death. It's almost as though all the colour has drained from my body. I've never been paler. My eyes were both bloodshot red, and I'm not talking pink, I mean they were red, like red as though someone had pepper sprayed me. I had tears down my face, and I had mayonnaise and ketchup and other sauces in my beard and mustache. And I had, my top was soaking wet, probably from a mixture of the stuff that came out of my nose and sweat. But I'm soaking wet and sauce is everywhere. I think I was wearing a white jumper or sweater, and it had like stains all over it. And I'm just stood there at the sink, breathing, and I wash my hands and I like clean my face and get all the stuff off. I wasn't wearing any makeup, thank God, because that would have just gone out with 2 different colours knowing me. But I wasn't wearing any makeup that day. And I just took off everything and stood there and breathed. And I think I remember thinking, I'm going to phone my mum and tell her, because that's what you do in these situations. And there was no phone signal because I was in the like ground basement-y bit. And I just thought, I don't know what I was thinking at that point. I was just thinking like, I think I almost died. I honestly think I almost died because I feel like my brain, like I had sparkly lights everywhere I looked, and my brain and my head hurt, and I was just like, I think I almost died. I think I just like lost so much oxygen. And honestly, I was absolutely, I mean, I was terrified, but I was also so relieved, so relieved. I couldn't believe how lucky I was. And at that point, I was immediately thinking how stupid I was to run away from everyone into a private toilet at the back of a building. And I still to this day hate myself for that. I'm like, why was that my reaction? It was almost like I was so embarrassed by how I looked that I had to hide even though I needed help. So dumb. Anyway, so if you ever choke, for the love of God, just stand up and wave your hands and attract attention. Get someone to help you. So I clear myself up and I go back to the table where my date has now returned and is sat there just eating his food. And I sit down, I'm in a state of shock almost, and I sit there and I don't know what to say, and he looks at me, and even though I'm soaking wet and there's stains all over my top, and I probably, you know, my eyes are blood red, and he just looks at me and goes, "You all right?" And I just look at him and I'm almost aghast that he hasn't said like, what the hell happened to you? And I just go, no, this is so weird. When you were outside, I choked on my food. And he goes, did you? And I was just like, yeah, I mean, I choked, really like seriously choked. I had to like run to the loos and like, I just managed to like clear my throat. Like, I think I almost died. Like, isn't that ridiculous? And he goes, oh, well, you're all right now, aren't you? You okay now? And I'm inside, I'm just like, why are you not taking this more seriously, sir? And then I just think, obviously, I don't know. I barely knew this guy. But obviously at that point, I've lost all interest. I do not want to eat the rest of my food. So I think I just said to the guy, like, I'm really sorry, but I feel I don't feel very well. So I'm gonna go home. I only live down the road. And he just goes like, oh, right, no problem. Should I call you later? And I was just like, yeah, okay. And I left, and I just remember I walked, it was only one street to my house, and I walked down the street, and I just, again, I think I was just in shock. I was in shock for about probably 24 hours. I think I was in shock until the next day. And the funniest thing is, I remember like calling like my friends and also seeing my work friends the next day and telling them about this, and everyone laughed because obviously it's kind of funny, but like, everyone was always just like, oh yeah, when you tell them you choke, but no one like takes it that seriously. But I was just like, I could have died. And no one ever takes me seriously. You guys watching this, you're probably laughing at me right now, but honestly, I almost died. I'm sure of it. I mean, I've been in near-death situations before, and that was probably the closest I've ever been to actually like dying. The terror I felt when I like just couldn't speak, that was the worst bit. When I couldn't breathe, that was scary, but when I couldn't speak either, and I couldn't even make a noise, I've never been so scared in my life, I don't think. So anyway, I'm hoping you've enjoyed the story and it's made you laugh. And hoping this is kind of some kind of like PSA or whatever the term is, and that you guys will like know what to do if you should ever choke now. So if you ever choke, wave people down. I will be honest, I very rarely ever want to eat chicken now as a result. Like, I would never choose it. And also living on my own. So ever since I've moved into this flat, this is the first time I've lived on my own since I was like 17, 18. And ever since then, I've always lived in house shares or I've shared with friends. And so this is the first time I've lived alone, and every now and then I just think, what would happen if I choked in my own apartment and no one was here? I don't know, but it does freak me out. I think that's one of those things, because it happened once, it'll always freak me out just a little bit. Anyway, it just occurred to me yesterday to tell you guys that story, and I thought it would be funny. So if you've enjoyed this, give the video a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know if you found this funny. And I'm sorry I haven't posted in so long. Maybe this will be the beginning of me getting back into the rhythm of posting again, because all I've done since I left Brighton is work, work, and work. I feel like I don't really do anything else, so it'll be good for me to get back into this. And if you don't already, follow me on Instagram, because I have been posting very regularly on there. So yeah, for now, bye bye.